Hi, I'm Raquel and welcome back to A Pinch of Salt. Today I wanted to share with you a simple dessert. It's just one of those things that if you wake up at night and you kind of want something sweet and you don't want to go through the hassle, you run out of ice cream. It's a nice little thing to put together last minute. So, pretty simple stuff, and it's basic things that we would have ordinarily in our refrigerator. So we have water, butter, flour, it's a cup of flour, a stick of butter, 4 eggs, they're large by the way, and then just a mixture that I did of sugar to cinnamon. And depending on how much cinnamon you like, you can adjust a lot of cinnamon or a little bit of cinnamon. So pretty much we're putting together something that's called pate choux. It's P-A-T-E and then C-H-O-U-X. So it sounds like a pot of choux, exactly what it is. What it just means is just a dough that's used as a basis either for your cream puffs or churros, which we're doing today, or anything like your eclairs. So this is that's the basis of it. So the first thing we want to do is heat up our pan, and we're going to bring water, butter, and a little bit of salt to a boil. So there's our water. Doesn't matter what temperature it is, room temperature, whatever, it's fine. Or just out of the tap. A whole stick of butter, and then we're going to bring that to a boil with about an 1/8 teaspoon of salt. It's no big deal, it's just a pinch of salt. So our water, our butter, and the pinch of salt that we added already came to a boil. We're going to add all the flour at once, so there's no need to go slow. The whole thing goes in, and now you just want to take a wooden spoon, plastic spoon, whatever it is, and just give it a good mix. So you're going to start seeing, well, that it's going to comes together really quickly, the whole dough. So over the heat, and as soon as it starts pulling, as you can see, it formed one big type of dough ball in the middle. Then you're done. And then I'm going to start adding an egg at a time. Okay? And then just in between, when you add your egg, you just want to make sure you give it a good whisk so that it gets incorporated. So right over the top, and you want to go quickly so that you don't all of a sudden start making scrambled eggs. Get all the eggs in, one at a time. Add another one in. You want to do it off the heat, so I'll just remove it completely. Add our second egg. And do the same until all 4 are inside. So we're just working in that last egg. You don't want to over mix. Once you have all the eggs in combined, just stop, because you don't want to lose the glossiness that you already have got out of your dough. So if you look at it, it's nice and shiny, and that's what you want. So you don't want to start, making it really pasty. Once we let this cool a little bit, we're going to put it in a Ziploc bag or a pastry bag if you have it. Then we're going to snip the little bottom, and we're going to start piping them into the oil. Here we have a little pot. It's a big pot. And we're going to add we added some canola oil. You want an oil, again, that has a high smoke point. Not your time for extra virgin olive oil, or a blend of olive oil. You definitely want something like vegetable, canola, peanut oil. Something that's going to be neutral and not lend the flavor to whatever you're cooking, and at the same time have a high smoke point in order to do something like this, or sauteing like we discussed in the prior video. We're going to get the oil hot. Again, we can test it by putting a wooden spoon in it and seeing that little bubbles form on the ends. Remove it, and then we can start piping it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of this mixture in, right into our Ziploc bag. I don't want to put too much. You can do this in 2 batches. It also depends on how much you want to eat that night, or whatever you're using it for. And then I'm going to snip the bottom. So, nice. A good enough snip, because we want them nice and thick. We don't want pencil type of shapes. But then you want it, oh, that's good. So you gave it, I don't know, anywhere from a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch right off the back, a little less than 1/2 inch. Once the oil's hot, we're going to start piping them directly into the oil. Again, being careful not to overcrowd the pan, because we don't want the temperature to drop down too quickly. And we'll let it brown up. And it takes about 1 or 2 minutes for it to actually get some goldenness. And we'll flip it over and do the same on the other side. Just a couple of inches long, and throw it right in. Just be careful, it is oil. You'll notice that we didn't fill the pot with oil. You don't need to go too heavy with the oil. Then, using a spider, which is this little gadget, I'm going to move it around. If you don't have one of these, it's perfectly fine. Just use a spoon, a wooden spoon or something, and just move it around. The idea is so that they don't touch. We don't want them to burn, but we want the inside to get nice and cooked as well. You're going to notice with these churros that It's going to be fried on the outside, but it's still going to be very light and fluffy and moist in the inside. So it shouldn't be like really, really hard or overly fried in the inside. And they're looking good. We're getting some color on some of these. Just turn them around. And in no time they'll be ready to go. You see how they plump up? Okay, so we got this nice golden color on them. We're going to take them out and we're just going to drain them a bit on a paper towel. I'll take them all out. And then while they're still hot, because it's just like with French fries. French fries absorb salt better right when they're coming out of the oil. Same thing here. As soon as they're out, we're going to add a little bit of the cinnamon sugar mixture. You want to go heavy. It doesn't mean all of it's going on it, but you do want it to get absorbed into our little fritter, our little churro. And mix them up a little bit so you get them on all sides. If you don't care for cinnamon sugar, you can definitely do just regular granulated sugar. You can do confectionery sugar. You can even do a little cocoa powder if you want. Just sweeten it up. And you're going to see in the inside what I was talking about. I actually want to show you. So you see how in the inside it's still moist. It still has a little airiness. And it should cool a little bit. Like they're supposed to be served warm. But obviously they're really, really hot at this point. So they set up nicely. But again, you get that little donut inside. It's not like overly fried in the middle. So thank you for joining us. And I hope you enjoy making these churros. It's a great little midnight snack. So definitely join in and make it. And let me know your comments. Feel free to visit me on the website, www.apinchofsalt.com.